Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. Today is Wednesday, March 28th, 2018. It'll be vlog number 86. And it's cold this morning. What the hell? I thought this was supposed to be spring. There's frost in my window. I got the defroster on and stuff. And my little phone mounty thing for my windshield, of course, it's made out of plastic and rubber and doesn't stick too well in my windshield when it's cold out, apparently, so I had a little hard time getting it on there. I should have just said fuck it and just held my phone like I used to, but I'm being lazy and I just wanted to kind of get it up there and do my vlog that way. I can't keep yawning. I was watching one of my podcasts that I usually watch once a week. My favorite podcasters, and they were talking about the subject of death, and it was like a funny take on death, quirky things that people have done at funerals and stuff like that, and just oddities, and then of course he was getting callers to call in and give them their stories. One woman was saying that she was a veterinarian, and one of the things that she does, of course, is euthanize animals. Which, of course, I wouldn't want that job. That's a terrible job, but it's something that we do because it's better for the animals, right? Your pets, you don't want them to suffer, and the host made a good point, and I remember him saying this before, that that's such a weird thing with humans and animals, that we allow for the safe euthanizing of animals because we don't want them to suffer. If they have some kind of ailment, or if they're just too old and you can tell they're suffering, we can choose to end their lives, in a safe, legal way, but we don't afford that type of right to a human. We don't say well, if you want to die, go right ahead, and we don't really have that in this country. Now, there are parts of the country that kind of do allow that, apparently, I think California had been either tried to pass right to die laws or did pass, I forget. So that's it's kind of odd that we do that for animals, and of course most of that comes from religion. People think that humans, we have souls, and therefore since we are intelligent beings compared to animals, our lives are more precious, so don't kill yourself. But what if you're a freaking vegetable, or you got some incurable disease, or you're just old and you just want to get it over with already? Any number of reasons. Doesn't matter what the reason is. If you want to die, you should be allowed to just off yourself in a safe manner, instead of going in your closet and trying to strangle yourself with a necktie, and that often doesn't work, and you suffer through trying to kill yourself. But there should be a process for that. Anyways, that wasn't what I wanted to talk about for this, about this part, about the right to die stuff. But another thing they mentioned was the woman who was talking about her euthanizing the pets. She says, we do it in a way where of course, if it's we give the family some last moments with the pet. Sometimes we'll give the animal a treat. Say if it's a dog, you give them some chocolate cake. Dogs can't eat chocolate, but the dog's not going to be around anymore longer, so might as well give them a treat they'll never, that they couldn't have in their life for one time before the end. And so that's a nice thing. But it got me thinking. The last meal. If you knew that you were going to die, and you could have a last meal, what would it be? I mean, I'm not talking like death row type stuff. I mean, yeah, people on death row that they have that choice. Now I don't know if I agree with the death penalty wholeheartedly. You know, some people might deserve it, but only in cases of absolute certainty that the person, whoever you're putting on death row, deserves to be on death row. Because right now, of course, there's way too many people on death row that they don't have 100% evidence that they're guilty. There's been times where they find out, much later, that people who already die on death row, that they were innocent. I forget what the percentage is, but the percent, any percent is too high. 1% of people, that's too high. Of people on death row. Anyways, so imagine like you have any meal in the world you want. You're a regular civilian, going about your daily life. And so you get that choice. You're like, someone says, you're going to die. This is it. Now, do you want that last meal to be like something special or something you never had before in your life? Something you can never get, normally? Like, I'm giving you an unlimited, for instance, if you live in some, small town America, but yet you've always wanted to eat like some kind of Filipino dish or something. I don't know why I chose Filipino, but some foreign country's dish that you don't get in your town because there's no one there that makes that type of food. But you always want to try it because maybe you've seen it on TV once or something. Is there something like that you want to have? Or do you go with an old favorite like, it's like, I just got to have Chicago deep dish pizza one last time or something? Or do you go with like an extravagant meal, like give me a 7-course gourmet dinner or something? Or since you realize that if you're gonna die, you're not gonna remember this last meal. That's it. You're worm food. You're gone. No more. You're no more here, being around to, remember what you've gone through than the time before you were born. Like, time before you were born, you didn't know that you weren't there. When you die, you're not going to know that you're not there anymore. So, what would be the point of having a last meal? You can't take it with you because you're dead. You don't got a goddamn spirit. Goddamn spirit. There's no heaven or hell. Sorry to lay it out. But you're not going to remember. And so, what's the point of having a last meal that you're not going to remember? Just to have that last enjoyment? I'm guessing, that's the thing. That's, for me, like if I were given that choice, it would be something that I want to enjoy for that last time. Now, what would my last meal be? I don't know. I would have to can I choose like a bite or two of like 5 different of the things that I enjoy? So I don't want no gourmet. Yeah, wow. Sorry. I don't want no like gourmet type food. That's not me. I think I would choose just like my favorite foods. I mean, it would suck if you tell me the rules are there. I can only choose one rule. I'd be like, that would be a hard decision for me. and you go with like a pizza or hamburger, or and even if you do go with something simple like a hamburger, where do you get it from? What's your favorite hamburger? Like, because sometimes you all like, I don't want McDonald's. Give me Burger King. Or some days you be all like, oh, damn, I really crave a freaking Big Mac. Like you there are certain foods that you may not eat all the time, but you love and you want to go back to it. So if you like, and even though it's a food that you eat, ever so often, however often you eat it, it's a common food where every place you go makes it differently. You can get a fast food McDonald's burger, Burger King, Wendy's, Carl's Jr., whatever. Or you go to like a chain restaurant like Chili's or Applebee's, Hooters. They have burgers. Bubba's 33. They make delicious hamburgers too. They call it 33 because their burgers are 33% bacon. I love that shit. There's all kinds of places you can get burger from. Or if you find out like that there's like one burger restaurant in like all of like America or the world that undoubtedly makes the best hamburger in the world, do you get that burger? You know what I mean? Like, what do you choose? I don't know. It's interesting to think about. If anybody's watching this, comment below what your last meal would be if you had the choice. I'm not going to give no rules other than the fact that it is your last meal. You choose whatever you want. You want to have multiple, bites. You don't have like bites of like, several things that you want. You want something you never had before. Whatever it is. I think it'd be fun. So, anyways, fun times. Hopefully talking about death and last meal didn't depress people. Didn't depress me, but I think it's just a fun thought experiment. I can't even talk this morning. A fun thought experiment. So yeah, I can't stop yawning. So I'm gonna end this vlog. So everybody have a good day. We'll talk to y'all later, and I love you.